Hey, Woodhaven family, and welcome back to the Journey 24/7 podcast. This is Chandler here with you again, and I'm so thrilled that you're back with us for another day of our Journey 24/7 reading plan. As you know, we've been studying through Genesis, and we are up to chapter 37 today. And in this, we are seeing Jacob, or Israel. We're seeing how the narrative switching more so to his sons than in his own life. We're still going to see him mentioned, and he's going to still be playing a role in what we're reading in the coming weeks, but we're really focusing more on his sons at this point in the scriptures. And today we're seeing that his son Joseph is very clearly his favorite. In verse 3 it says, "Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons." Now if you're listening to this and you have siblings, I'm sure that you remember growing up that everybody always thought that each parent had their favorite. Now, the parents are always going to say that they didn't. Jacob here probably didn't try to hide that Joseph was his favorite based off of everything we see. But in today's world, we know that everybody tries to act like they don't have favorites. But when you're kids, everybody always feels like one of the kids is either their dad or their mom's or maybe both of their favorite. We've all been there before. And usually when that happens, there leads to some type of dissension, some type of jealousy, whatever it may be, where you just find yourself really having some conflict. Well, and that's what we're going to see here. So Joseph is clearly Jacob's favorite child, his favorite son. And so his brothers see that, and they are jealous of it. Well, then Joseph also has a dream, and he goes and tells his brothers and Jacob that in this dream, they're all bowing down to him. So you have these brothers that already don't really care for Joseph very much because they know that he's Jacob's favorite. And now he's also coming to them and saying, oh, by the way, one day you're going to be bowing down to me. That's what this dream is telling me, that you're going to bow down to me. They don't like it. They get upset. It just causes them to become more and more jealous of him. So one day all of the brothers are out, and Jacob sent Joseph to go find them. And as they see Joseph coming, they detach this plan to kill him. They decide they're going to kill him so that he'll no longer be the favorite. Well, what we see is that Reuben, Joseph's oldest brother, tells them, no, let's not kill him. He said, let's just throw him in this trap in the wilderness and leave him there. So Reuben's here trying to protect his life, and he was going to go back and save him later. He's really looking out for his brother here. We don't know if it's just him showing genuine mercy, or if he thought this would cause Jacob to look on him more honorably and potentially give him some of that same favoritism. We don't know what the exact motive behind it was, but Reuben was trying to protect Joseph here. So they do this. They capture him, throw him into this pit, and they just are there leaving him. They go down to eat, and they look up and see a caravan of Ishmaelites coming. And Judah, one of Joseph's brothers, and somebody that we really need to keep in mind, because while we focus on Joseph a lot in this, Judah is really the most important person we're seeing of the brothers. And that's because he ultimately leads us to the genealogy of Christ. So keep Judah in mind and what happens with him, because it's extremely important, and he's going to be a big focus of our study tomorrow. But Judah comes, and he says, what profit is it that we kill our brother? Let's go and sell him, and we can actually make some money out of this too, and we would not have killed our brother. Now again here, in a way, this is him showing mercy because it's keeping Joseph alive, but in a way it's also showing that he wanted some money out of it. So we really don't know, again, what exactly his motive here, whether it was to try to save Joseph or whether it was because he just wanted some financial gain in this while also getting rid of his brother. We're not positive on that. But what we do know is that he does save Joseph's life through this, just as Reuben did as well. Now, we're going to pause just for a second here because I want us to remember that through all of this, we're seeing the Lord using different people here. We're seeing him use Reuben, we're seeing him use Judah, and ultimately using Joseph for his plans to come to fruition. Joseph would never have wanted to be sold into slavery, but as we're going to see, there was an exact reason that the Lord had that happen. And we're going to see that there was an exact reason that the Lord has done all of this, and it's all leading us to Christ. So we have to remember, we've talked about this before, but the entire Old Testament is pointing us to Christ. Christ is at the center of all of Scripture. Old Testament is leading us to him. The New Testament is showing us his life and the results of it, and then ultimately what's to come, even in the future. But it's all centered on Christ. So everything that we're reading here, the Lord is constantly moving in it all for his purpose, for his glory. And so we're seeing him use sinful people just as all of us are sinful. He uses each and every one of us for his glory and for his mission. We just need to allow him to do that. But we even see in a case right here how people's sinful actions, the Lord still uses it for his glory. It's not just that they were sinful people, because we're all sinful people, but no, these were sinful actions, and the Lord was still using it. The Lord's glory abounds more and more through it all. He's constantly showing us just how powerful he is, how loving he is, how all-knowing he is, and how in control he is. So when we look around our world today and we see things that are really sinful, and we question, how can that exist when God exists? When God is loving, how can this much evil exist? Well, just remember the Lord still, his glory still abounds through it all. So just remember that as we think about just the things we see in the world today, and we reflect on all the evil and sinfulness we saw throughout the Old Testament, and through it all, the Lord was still working. So we wrap this up with Joseph being sold into slavery. Reuben wasn't happy about it. He returned to the pit to go rescue him and realized they had sold him. But they realized they need to come up with some type of cover story. They can't go home and tell Jacob that they did this. Because even Reuben, who tried to stop it, he still ultimately was the one that suggested throw him in the pit. So they're all guilty for something in this. So they tear Joseph's robe and put it in some animal blood and take it to their father. This was the robe of many colors that his father had made him, so it was very recognizable that it was Joseph's. And they tell the father that an animal must have come and gotten him. So what we're seeing here is Jacob's sons deceiving him. Again, it's kind of been something we've seen throughout the life of Jacob. We saw him deceive his own father and Isaac. We saw his father-in-law deceive him. We've seen it all throughout his life where this deception is a common theme. And now his own sons are all deceiving him, making him think that Joseph has been killed. And we see that Jacob is just immensely grieving over this. It says he tears his clothes. That was a something that happened at the time when somebody was just in extreme grief. And he's upset and he's heartbroken because he thinks he's just lost his favorite son. He says, "Now I shall go down to Sheol to my son mourning." Thus his father wept for him. So Jacob was just really depressed about this. He was in a really dark place. We finish out this chapter by seeing that the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar. This is talking about Joseph, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. So that verse sets the stage for where we'll next be seeing the life of Joseph. We'll be getting to that in just a couple of days, but tomorrow come back for us in Genesis chapter 38, where we're going to be looking at a little bit more of the life of Judah and what that's going to lead to. So it's going to be a great time to study together, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.